It was horrible, all 45 minutes of it. How you guys doing? You guys feeling pretty good tonight? Sorry, not trying to get political at the start of the show or anything. Yeah, feeling pretty good. I was smoking some weed with my grandma today. It's kind of weird, you know. She's like an old Italian woman from the East Coast, but she's also an old hippie, which are two very conflicting identities. So she says funny things sometimes, like, I'm an empath. And I'll be like, what does that mean? And she's like, are you fucking stupid? I love this place. It's the only community where you have grandmas smoking weed with their grandkids. There's always so much weird stuff going on around here. I love learning new bullshit, basically. That's why I still live here, you know. The other day, I heard of a modern-day marriage proposal. I don't know if you've... Modern-day marriage proposal like this. It's like this guy, right, he's talking to his girlfriend. He's like, babe, I'd marry you in a heartbeat if you were polyamorous. What the fuck is that? Polyamorous? Like, I thought marriage meant you were open to monogamy. It's kind of weird. You ever notice that, like, even though polyamorous people come from different backgrounds and different races, they all look the same? Sad. Why is it that hippies, after, like, ayahuasca ceremony, always come out on some bullshit like polyamory? Or... You ever notice that? Like, hippies, you know, will end up doing, you know, a bunch of drugs, come out of a psychedelic trip. They just experienced the whole universe. They were one with everything. You know, and they're like, I am going to be a yoni instructor. What about community service? Pick up some trash off the fucking side of the highway, you know? I sell berries now. It's like, okay, good for you, good for you. It's bullshit, you know? For me, I like giving back to the community. You know, I was feeling pretty good today. I actually decided to go and give back to the community. I wanted to spread some love, you know? Not in like a P. Diddy way, but I went up and I saw this homeless guy, right? And I decided, you know, to give him some money. I never do that. I was like, hey man, here's $10. And he looked me up and down and was like, nah dog, you need that more than I do. Is that my vibe? Do I look homeless? I feel like I look like I could get mugged by a strong wind. Or like the starting character in a skating video game. I don't look homeless. He thought I did. He gave me advice. He was like, just so you know, don't ever do drugs and follow your dreams. Yeah, but his dilated pupils told me, don't do heroin and suck dick for money. So, I won't, you know. He pissed me off, guys. I was feeling good. I decided to give him a cigarette. And he lit up. He got elated. You guys might think that's a nice gesture, but what he doesn't realize is that's my way of ending poverty for good. No more homelessness, guys, long term, you know? It's too much. It's too much. It's hard. It's hard to feel good nowadays, guys, you know? It's wild. You know, I try to feel good, and then, like, Elon's out here creating autistic gang signs. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is, you know? I don't know if it was anti-Semitic, what he did, but I will say my Jewish friend said his Tesla started rerouting to the train station. I went to the gas station 5 times, guys. It's an electric vehicle. That's suspicious. Too much. It's too much now, you know. I realize if you want to start a movement in America, it doesn't matter what you do or what you believe. Only matters if you're hot. You know? Like, look at me. I'm not Luigi. I can't start a movement. I gotta do CrossFit, guys. Looking, I can't. You know? It's wild. Luigi's so hot, he released a sex tape, you know? I don't know if you, I found this out. I know, and like the rest of you guys, like all of America, I was like, oh my God, where are they? I can't find them. don't know. I feel bad for the CEO. You know, he was just walking around outside, and then he got gunned down in New York. And they took him to the hospital where he didn't receive any further health care. Oh, there's a silver lining, guys. You know? At least he died doing what he loved, you know, not receiving health care. So good for him. Yeah. Now I'm trying to feel good. I just smoke weed. You guys like smoking weed? Yeah. I get tired of defending smoking weed, though. I got in an argument with this old weed-hating guy the other day, right? He said weed is a drug. I was like, well, some people use it for chronic pain. No one's OD'd from it, and most consider it medicine. He said, yeah, well, it still impairs your driving. He said, so does alcohol, and they sell it everywhere. He was like, sir, get the fuck out of the car with your hands behind your back. You need a joint, dog. It's too much, you know. Weed is boring now, guys, I have to say. You know, I get jealous when I hear stories from my dad, people in their 40s, about what it was like. What it was like just to buy weed, guys. How thrilling it must have been. It was crazy. My dad used to dart around the Bronx at 3 in the morning to get a dime bag from a crackhead named Lasertron. I get weed with a debit card. My drug dealer just handed me a receipt. You know? Boring. Now when I try to spice the weed, I just do cocaine, you know? I don't do cocaine. I'm not trying to spend all my time with 8 people in a bathroom. But no, I just, you know, I try to spice things up. You know, I'll smoke some weed and then I jerk off. I call it weed whacking. That's so dumb. No, the only thing I like to do is I like to drive around when I smoke, you know? It's like you're in a spaceship. It feels crazy. I was with my friend the other day, yo, and you gotta be careful. That's the only thing, you know, the weed is really strong. You know, we're gonna go smoke at the park. I pull up, I wait 5 minutes for a stop sign to turn green. I'm like, I might be a little high. Smoking in the park, and then the cops roll by. The worst thing, and my friend's like, yo, we should bounce back to my crib. It's a few minutes away. You know, I'm like, word. I get in my car, he gets in his, you know. I roll up the window, turn up the music, you know. Driving, thinking high thoughts, you know, like, man, are women with fat fingers considered well endowed in the lesbian community? And my friend, he just starts speeding up, right? Speeding up super fast. So I speed up behind him. And he keeps speeding up a little bit more. So I pick up the pace. And he takes like a dramatic right and then like an abrupt left. So I give him a call, right? And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he's all out of breath on the other side of the phone. And he's like, yo, man, I think some motherfucker's been following me. Like the last 5 miles. It's like he knows where I'm going. Too much, you know, I was pissed. I was like, I have no idea where you are, dog. You better get out of there. I don't have time for this bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. Weed's too much, you know. Sometimes I smoke weed and my girlfriend gets mad because I smoke weed and sometimes I mansplain. Yeah. You guys know what mansplaining is? No, you don't. Let me explain it to you really quick. I was high. I was mansplaining this classic movie. It's called Shrek. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. Shrek is supposed to be about finding love in unexpected places, you know? How beautiful. But for me, Shrek teaches me that a woman will choose an actual fucking ogre over a short guy. You know? See a short king in the back who didn't like that. Okay. There's no eagles outside. You're safe in here. Relax. Oh, yeah. I like watching movies. My favorite movie is Pulp Fiction. You guys like Pulp Fiction? Yeah, I love Pulp Fiction. I was watching it the other day. I decided I was going to send it to my grandpa, you know, because he's never seen it. And that was a mistake. He called me the next day. He was super angry. He never calls me. And he was like, Zonnie, what the hell was that movie? I was, it's a classic. And he was like, it was really sexual. Sexual. There's that one scene, you know. He's like, yeah, there were gangbangs and anal bukkake. What the? And I'm like, oh my God, I think I sent my grandpa the wrong film. He was like, don't ever send me something like Pulp Friction again. I sent my grandparents a porn parody, guys. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Grandpa. He said, save your sorries for Grandma. Like, you watched it with Grandma? They're eating popcorn, you know? And my grandma gets on the phone, guys, and she's just like, Zonnie, I loved your movie. You know? Grandpa's getting Pulp Friction tonight, guys. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm gonna finish on this. You know, I don't really like social media. You know, social media makes you bitter. You know, people just post things because they can. You know, I saw this girl I used to know named Katie. Right? She posted, "I'm officially a SoCal girl." Right? Which makes sense because unofficially for 18 years she's been a bitch. You know, it's too much. You know, social media, guys. It does boost me up sometimes, though. Sometimes I watch some videos and you know, I'm like, I realize like I kind of need to be more positive on myself. You know, I'll give you an example. I was watching this video and I saw this 600-pound woman walking around with a rape whistle and a can of mace, and I was like, God damn, I need to be that optimistic. All right, guys. So glad you guys came out. Please welcome back your host, Kayla.